Keep track of your points and check your results at the end of the test. First things first, pick a plate for your future sandwich. A disposable plate, I guess. I don't have fine china or something. B, just a regular plate I'll grab off the shelf without looking. C, my favorite plate with some cute animals on it. D, a plate I made myself at a pottery workshop. E, a plastic container. I'm making a sandwich to go. If you picked option A, it's worth 20 points. Option B brings you 40 points. C is worth 30 points. D is worth 50 points. E brings you 10 points. Choose the bread of your masterpiece. A, whole wheat or multigrain. I want to make it as healthy as possible. B, sourdough. I love its taste and those large air bubbles. C, pita bread. Yummy and easy to hold. D, dark rye bread. The only kind I accept. E, ciabatta. Love that Italian feel. Did you go with option A? Here are your 10 points. B brings you 40 points. C is worth 20. D gives you 30 points. And E is worth 50 points. Next step, the meat. Is it gonna be A, turkey, B, ham, C, chicken, D, a mix of them all topped with bacon? Just one kind is too boring. E, no meat for me, thank you. If you picked turkey, add 30 points to your score. If you went with ham, get your 20 points. Chicken brings you 10 points. A mix of everything gives you 50 points. If you don't want any meat, get your 40 points. What's going there next? A, a slice of cheese. I love it so much I add it everywhere. B, lettuce, kale, spinach, arugula, leafy greens make everything better. C, some tomatoes and cucumbers. D, another layer of meat, and one more on top of it. E, strawberries. I like original combinations. Option A adds 20 points to your basket. Option B brings you 40 points. C is worth 10 points. D is worth 30 points. E brings you 50 points. Time to add some sauce. Will you go with A, barbecue sauce? The spicier the better. B, Caesar dressing. I add it everywhere. C, some good old mayo. It works with every meal. D, balsamic vinaigrette. Fancy and healthy. E, cranberry jam. In fact, any jam will do. Barbecue sauce fans get 40 points. If you'd rather go with Caesar dressing, get your 20 points. Mayo brings you 10 points. Balsamic vinaigrette will get you 30 points. Cranberry jam brings you 50 points. It still feels incomplete. How about some extras? A, chili peppers. I like it spicy. B, pickles, crispy and crunchy. C, grilled cheese. The more, the better. D, some red onions. E, I think I'm good. This sandwich is looking good enough. Chili peppers brings you 30 points. Pickles gets you 10 points. Grilled cheese is worth 40 points. Red onions gives you 20 points. No extras option gives you 50 points. Looks good. How will you eat it? A, down the middle. B, diagonally. C, I turn it into some little triangles. D, I don't cut it at all. It's already perfect. E, I make some funky shapes out of it with a cookie cutter. Did you go with option A? Add 40 points to your basket. Option B brings you 10 points. Option C is worth 30 points. D brings you 20 points. And E is worth 50 points. Wait, do you think it'll be enough? Add something on the side. A, French fries. I can't live a day without them. B, my signature mix of pickled bell peppers, jalapenos, carrots, cauliflower, and onions. C, some ice cream. Try it yourself before you say yuck. D, some fresh and ripe avocados. E, nothing. I'm not that hungry. French fry fans get 20 points. Those who picked a mix of everything gets 40 points. Ice cream brings you 50 points. Avocados are worth 30 points. If you don't want to add anything, get 10 points. How about a drink to go with your sandwich? A. Sure, I'll have some soda. B. A glass of water will do. C. I prefer some freshly squeezed orange juice. D. Coffee. I can never get enough of it. E. I think I'll pass, thanks. If you picked option A, add 10 points to your basket. Option B brings you 50 points. Option C is worth 40 points. D gives you 20 points. And E is worth 30 points. You're all set. Where do you eat your sandwich? A. The kitchen. I don't like breadcrumbs all over the house. B. The porch or balcony. I prefer to eat outside, even in bad weather. C. A nearby park. I'll go for a walk and eat it on the way. D. The living room in front of the TV set. E. My desk while I'm working. I never have time to eat properly. If you prefer to eat in the kitchen, 20 points are coming your way. If you picked the porch or balcony, you get 30 points. Those who chose a nearby park get 50 points. The living room gives you 10 points, and your desk adds 40 points to your score. Your housemate walks in and asks to share your delicious snack. What do you do? A. I share it with him, of course. He always shares with me. B. He doesn't even have to ask. I made 2 sandwiches for us to eat together. C. No, I don't share food. D. I'll share, but he'll have to do the dishes for a week. E. He can make his own and join me for that walk I'm taking. Option A gives you 50 points. B is worth 30 points. C is worth 10 points. D brings you 40 points. E is worth 20 points. Imagine you agreed to share a sandwich with your housemate. What do you talk about while you're eating? A. My new relationship. I never make a secret out of personal stuff. B. Work or school. We aren't that close, really. C. Our plans for the weekend. We spend a lot of time together. D. Sports or music. I enjoy our heated discussions. E. Weather. We're just housemates, not besties or something. Those who went with option A get 50 points. If you chose B, you get 30 points. Option C brings you 40 points. D gives you 20 points. And E is worth 10 points. Time to sum up your points and find out your biggest fear. If you got 100 to 210 points, you're afraid of the dark. The darkness itself isn't scary. It's the unknown that freaks you out. You're most likely also afraid of the future and any unpredictable situations. You don't like surprises and prefer to follow a plan in everything. You have a super rich and vivid imagination. Your brain always plays many scenarios, most of which never come true, but make you shiver anyway. In case your final score is 220 to 300 points, clowns are your biggest fear. That's because their bright makeup and smiles are hiding their real intentions. You can't stand lies and absurd things. You're always sincere and honest to yourself and others, and expect the same from them. You take things the way they are and are realistic about your future. You're always careful meeting new people. It can take years before you can call someone your friend. Did you end up with 310 to 400 points? Heights and flying make you scared. You feel like you have a split personality. It's not easy for you to make any decisions or pick sides in an argument. You feel uncomfortable in an unusual setting, like a plane seat. You don't like it when others are in charge of the situation, especially when your life depends on it. You're cautious and try to avoid taking risks. Those who ended up with 410 to 500 points, snakes are your biggest fear. The real fear behind it is that your loved ones will get in danger. You're deeply attached to your family and close friends. You'd give up anything for them. You're caring, selfless, and super reliable. Someone probably took advantage of that in the past, so you've learned your lesson and are more careful now. If your final score is 510 to 600 points, you're afraid of loneliness. You're sociable and easygoing. You're always the first to approach new people, and you enjoy being the soul of any party. The idea of being alone, even for a short time, terrifies you. One possible reason for that is your lack of self-confidence. You probably need the approval of others for your own well-being. Focus on yourself. You matter as well. Take a few seconds to look at this first picture. If you first saw a monkey swinging from a tree, Chances are you are very creative and full of new ideas. You're also aware that every decision and step you take in life guides your personal development. You're also likely to be great at problem solving, no matter how mind-boggling the situation. You may struggle with organizing all your thoughts and ideas, though. Make sure to leave time to plan and organize your daily life so you don't get overwhelmed. Be careful not to isolate yourself too. It's easy to get caught up in your own bubble, but your friends need you. If you saw a tiger instead, this means you are more likely to be analytical and practical, and generally more understanding and empathetic too. When given a task, you immediately get to it, but you can get a little too focused on doing things your own way. Make sure to take time to listen to others. They can help you learn and grow. You also tend to find change very scary, but whatever happens, you're going to find success because you never give up. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you see the pillars first, you prefer being comfortable and secure rather than taking risks. Chances are, you also spend a lot of time dreaming about your goals rather than actively working towards them. But you'll likely need to break out of this to achieve your big goals in life. Remember, you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. If you see the people first, you're more of a free spirit. You're a kind soul, and life rarely seems to dull you. You're also more likely to make radical decisions at the drop of a hat. You view life as an adventure and are super curious. But when the right time comes, you may find settling down harder than others, so keep that in mind. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you see a duck, you are more likely to act out of emotional impulse. You are more inclined to make abrupt decisions, which are often affected by mood swings. If you first spotted a rabbit, you consider the consequences of your actions carefully. You're a very logical person. This will help figure out your mental age, and no, this doesn't mean how smart you are. Your mental age is how you see the world, either through the eyes of a child or someone older. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you saw an elderly man, it means that you are a mature person in terms of your thoughts and life outlook. You have seen the world and experienced the highest highs and the lowest lows. These experiences have allowed you to grow as a person and gain knowledge. You're grounded in reality and see the world for what it is, but you're also calm and humble. If you first saw a young girl, you're probably still a kid at heart. Despite going through rough patches, you still have your innocence and view the world with all the curiosity of a child. You can find joy in the simplest of things and have preserved your inner child, unlike most other people. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you're looking at a face, you try to steer clear of conflict. You also come across as friendly, so congrats! You're very intuitive, which helps you out on the daily basis, and are sensitive to others' feelings. If you see two birds, you're a cheerful soul. You're welcoming and love meeting new people. You're also a great listener when taking advice from your family. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you first saw a woman playing the saxophone, you're most likely an extrovert. You love socializing and are confident and outgoing. This makes you a fan favorite at parties. But be careful not to burn yourself out. It's important that you take time for yourself to rest and de-stress. If you spot the outline of a face, you're an introvert. Parties or crowds might not be where you thrive. They can instead just bring you a lot of stress. You're more of a homebody, who may have enjoyed the isolation of lockdown. You don't like burning the candle at both ends by partying and clubbing, but that's not to say you won't stay up late into the night binging your favorite shows. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. Did you first see a tree? Then you likely have great organizational skills and you're more inclined to be a natural leader. Problem solving is also a great strength of yours, but this also may mean you rely too much on reason and logic. Being rooted in realism can stop you from dreaming and you may lose ambitious goals. If you saw a gorilla, you're a critical person, not only of yourself but of others too. You struggle to accept when others don't progress at the same pace as you. You don't like the idea of wasting time, which is why you keep yourself busy. But this pursuit of knowledge means you're intelligent and contribute fresh ideas that others may not get. Saw a lion? Then you're a powerful person who's determined and hardworking. You're goal-oriented and always focused. But you sometimes let your primitive instincts get the best of you, which can make you wild and unpredictable. Finally, if you saw a fish, you like to live in the moment and have a positive outlook on life. You don't like to feel negative and try to avoid it at all costs. Other people are an important part of your life, but don't let them take advantage of you. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you see a small village with huts, trees, and birds, then you're likely more of a person of custom. You prefer the calmness that comes with a simple way of life, rather than the buzz and noise of the city. Basically, you're more traditional. If you instead see an elephant, you're friendly, considerate, and thoughtful. You're loyal to your close family and friends, and they respect you for it. People who see the elephant are also more likely to be a good listener. Which ball is bigger? They're actually the same size, but if the ball in the back looks bigger to you, you like to take control of situations and help others. You have good attention to detail too. If the front ball looks bigger, you like to be led and don't mind taking instructions from other people. You're less likely to be a natural leader. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you see the smiley face first, it means you use the right side of your brain more. You're a creative and artistic person. If you saw the sad face first, you tend to use the left side of your brain more. This means that you're more analytical. You often think long and hard before making a decision and like to calculate things. Which color are you most drawn to? If you went with yellow, you're a cheerful person and enjoy spreading happiness to the people in your life. You're the life of the party and are vocal. You're a happy-go-lucky type, but you do fear rejection. If you picked red, you love adventure and are great at making snap decisions. You have a dominant personality and like things done your way. It's likely that you have a low tolerance for undisciplined people, and you may also be sensitive to others. Blue means that you're a trustworthy person that people can rely on. You're a perfectionist and examine the smaller details, but you can get bogged down with these details. You also have a big fear of being criticized. Finally, if green was your color, you're calm and cope well with high-pressure situations. You're often the mediator in stressful situations too. When you get stressed, you like to sleep it off. You're supportive and loyal, but don't like change. You're also a procrastinator, which can cause trouble when making deadlines. Take a few seconds to look at this picture. If you saw the letter A first, which is the hardest thing to do here, you're a really attentive type who likes scrutinizing things. You notice what others might easily miss, and no detail can avoid your sharp eye and wit. Others may sometimes avoid you because of your equally sharp tongue, though you should think of curbing your sarcastic nature a bit. If your first image was the man with the binoculars, then you're basically the opposite. You don't think details are important enough and prefer to look at the big picture. You're a good strategist and plan ahead of time very well, which makes you a reliable friend and partner. Still, sometimes details can be important, and by missing them, you may also lose valuable opportunities. If the first image to pop into your view was the car, you hold freedom dearly, and traveling has a special place in your heart. You value your ability to pack a small bag in no time and take off at short notice. Other people might think of you as careless, though, because you like spontaneity a little bit too much.